Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, put the
You
Giants.
can't go wrong, HBO.
Oh, shucks, Eli.
I mean, it's just free pub.
Hard Knock Us. Time for some
Daniel
stories.
Jones, man, that's a sexy star for right there.
Stories to start your morning.
It wasn't appropriate they drafted him either.
Rockets are tired of losing to the Warriors. They're reportedly ready for wholesale changes, according to reports. While a James Harden trade is extremely unlikely, everyone else is on the table, available, and on the market, including Chris Paul and Clint Capella. Nick, is this the right approach for Houston?
It's your first choice, C. Listen, here's what I think. You've got to see if you can get someone to bite on Chris Paul. I don't think anyone will. Even the Lakers aren't going to bite on Chris Paul. Not because Chris Paul can't play. I think Chris Paul is still a valuable member of a championship team. But at $40 million, at 38, which is what he's going to make, that's a tough pill to swallow. Now, Clint Capella is a player that might have more value for a team out east than a team that's trying to get through the Warriors. But if they can't make a change, then the biggest change needs to be with Clint Capella developing some type of offensive game.
They should look at seeing if they can move Capella, if they can bring another piece, another defensive-minded player, because that mentality, they don't have that in the playoffs, that they're going to be able to stop the Warriors. So, but if not, listen, get back to the gym, man. You guys are very, very close to beating the Warriors. So if they don't trade Capella, come back as the same team. I think they're good enough to get beyond the Warriors next year.
All right, moving on to Anthony Davis now. He reportedly met with David Griffin in Los Angeles yesterday, and his stance remains the same. He's still reportedly demanding a trade from the Pelicans. See, where does Davis end up?
Whew, this is tough there, because I believe David Griffin. I don't believe they want to trade him to the Lakers. I believe the Lakers can offer them the most. So do they take less? I believe they do. And he goes to the New York Knicks. I know that he wants to be in two different cities as far as requests, Los Angeles or New York. Nick, you don't think that...
I've been told the Clippers aren't going to present a trade offer that would trump what the Lakers can present. That the Clippers, not that they don't want Anthony Davis, but they are not so in love with Anthony Davis that they would trade away their Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their young players, plus their draft picks. Lakers, we already know, would trade everything, and that was before part of that everything was the 4th overall pick. This is going to come down to, does David Griffin value R.J. Barrett, who would be the 3rd overall pick, teaming him back up with Zion, more than he values?
So that's the Knicks pick.
The Knicks would be R.J. Barrett and Kevin Knox, Mitchell Robinson, versus the pick after R.J. Barrett, the 4th pick, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, maybe Kuzma. The Lakers have better players. The Knicks have the slightly better pick. But if he believes what you've been led to believe, which is there is a big drop-off in this draft after pick number 3, that could be enough to get it done for the Knicks.
Ooh, it's getting exciting. All right, moving on to Boogie Cousins now. Steve Kerr says the big man is, quote, pain-free, but he's still questionable for tonight's Game 1 against the Raptors. CC, how much impact can Boogie have?
Well, what I worry about is these finals games are intense. The energy it requires.
Stamina.
Man, he's got no stamina right now. Look at this practice right here. There ain't no intensity. These are backup players and coaches. Look how fast Boogie's moving. That's not the NBA Finals. Now, I wish Boogie could play in the finals if he was in shape. No, but it's just the untimely injury in round number 1. And Nick, how many playoff games has he played in, let alone a final?
He's played in 1 playoff game in the first couple minutes of another.
Oh, okay.
His entire career. Also, in his entire career, he has started post-rookie year 483 of 486 games. With the Warriors, he started every single game. He played at least 20 minutes in 27 of the 31 games, took at least 10 shots in 26 of the 31 games. You're going to ask him to play at a level of intensity he's never played at, off an injury he's never had, against a great defense in a role he's never had before.
Well, what's the alternative? Go in there, start, and
No. The alternative is he doesn't play.
It's just the timing of it. It's just unfortunate.
And this is going to be a very tough decision.
Look at this. I can play in this game. I mean, there ain't no intensity. Like, no, he's not a great defender. You're talking about a quad that's not 100%. He doesn't have the conditioning. Like you said, John, the stamina, it's just not going to be there.
All right, finally, we're learning more and more about what went on behind the scenes within the Lakers organization this last year. Yesterday, Adam Silver confirmed that Rich Paul, LeBron James' agent, complained about former head coach Luke Walton early last season. All part of this damning report that detailed the Lakers' dysfunction under Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka. All right, Nick, how does all of this reflect on LeBron?
Well, it should not reflect on LeBron at all. Now, I'm sure it will because, listen, if you have a 3,000-word article that crushes the Lakers but somehow leaves LeBron, it goes away unscathed in it, then we just need to give the story 48 hours to marinate, and we'll find a way to lay it at the feet of the king. Do you know why Adam Silver felt comfortable saying, yeah, Rich said that to me? As opposed to I'm not discussing that, keeping it private.
Or surprised that someone would do something like that.
Right, because this is what agents do. It is your agent's job to advocate for you, to complain for you, to always be fighting for you above all else.
Now, there's no league like the NBA that the agents, the players, the coaches, and who's running the league are closer than ever. Roger Goodell, it wouldn't make sense for someone to tell him something like that in the NFL because he's got layers removed between the players and everything. It'd be like, why are you telling me this? But the NBA, it is a part of their culture.
I'm sorry. Why would what does LeBron agent expect to get and
Nothing.
from saying this to the commissioner? Why? For what reason? Is he going to step in and say, all right, no, Lou, you're out, Lou?
Right. So that's the point. That's why, to me, this is a nothing. What Adam Silver was at lunch with Maverick Carter, LeBron's business partner and the guy behind Uninterrupted, all that stuff, and some other people, it would appear. Rich Paul was at the same restaurant. So, of course, he's going to come over. He sees the commissioner of the league, one of his closest friends, Maverick, comes over, start talking basketball.
First question was, though, how you doing?
Right, of course. Like,
okay, and that lets you know, oh, we're not doing well, man. We don't like the coach in Los Angeles.
And so Rich Paul just says, man, not great. Luke Walton's trying to run. This part I don't know, but I would imagine something like this. Rich Paul says, man, Luke wants to run an offense that LeBron's never run. Thinks it's going to be better to have the ball out of his hands. Trying to do things that we know what works with LeBron. We've seen it for, I don't know, 15 years. This doof is doing something else. And Adam Silver has said, well, who would you rather have there? Now, Adam Silver wouldn't confirm this. I'm sure Rich said Ty Lue. The report said that he said Ty Lue. But that is not Rich Paul. That is not LeBron texting. Rich Paul texts LeBron, hey, commissioner's here. What do you want me to say something to him? That's not how this works. I guarantee all three of us have agents, and they're all different people. I guarantee all of our agents have called one of our bosses complaining on our behalf that we don't even know about. Oh, I don't like that this is going on. What about this? Like, that is the job of the agent, is to always be fighting for the client. And he, obviously, Rich knows the commissioner isn't going to be like, well, LeBron doesn't like Luke. Let me fire up the bat signal and get him fired. This is just a way, because so much of the dysfunction within the Lakers is not the fault of LeBron, but he's the most interesting and polarizing person on the team, to find a way to lay some of it at the feet of LeBron.
Well, Magic couldn't even get Luke Walton fired, so you'd imagine that LeBron's agent. But still, it does come back to LeBron not liking his head coach. To LeBron once again having, because I'm sure they've had conversations about it, but LeBron having an issue with his head coach. So in some way, it does go back to LeBron.
Well, ultimately, Jenna, this is what this is about. When LeBron went to Los Angeles, just like Magic Johnson, they inherited the coach. LeBron James and his team decided, we're going to try the coach out. We're going to try this style that Magic came. Because Magic talked to LeBron about what kind of players we want. They both agreed they wanted some playmakers. So there was a talking about that and how those playmakers would play in Luke's system. LeBron signed off on Luke by him going there. If not, he would have told him to fire him at the beginning. So LeBron has done all the right things for Luke Walton to be able to do his job. Now, just because your agent works for you, you don't control his mouth. Now, I hope through all this that Rich Paul, because he's still a very, very young guy, I hope he's learning from this, because just because you do something and everybody else done, there's different optics. And how he's going to go about, if he's going to have, man, he's got a bunch of big-time clients, and his list is only going to get better. How he's going to go about doing business, it should be a little bit different, because what people are going to say. So if out of all this information, what I hope is, Rich Paul, that he learns that he better be watching out for everything that he says and everything that he does, because he's under a different set of rules because of LeBron James and the other players that he represents.
And I've argued this for the better part of a year. I'll continue to say it. LeBron didn't owe Luke Walton anything. He owed the Lakers the best chance to win. It'd be one thing if everyone acknowledged, well, Luke Walton's a great coach. and the Lakers are playing great basketball, but LeBron's stats are suffering because of what they're doing, and LeBron's like, I want him out of here. That would be selfish. If you think he's not the right coach for the team, then the best thing for the team is to have a different coach. LeBron has reportedly, and I believe it to be true, 3 times in his career advocated for a coach to be fired. Once was Eric Spoelstra. He was wrong about Spoelstra. Riley was absolutely right to keep him. Once was David Blatt. He was 100% right on David Blatt. The proof is what happened from that point forward. The other time was Luke Walton. We'll see if he was right about Luke. My guess is LeBron's going to be 2 for 3 on having a feeling.
The Lakers were playing well until LeBron got hurt.
They were playing well until LeBron got hurt. Okay.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I understand. And the Cavs went to the NBA Finals under David Blatt. And they went to the NBA Finals first year under David Blatt.
This is the thing. Even though the team was playing well, situational basketball, they were not great. The younger players were not developing at the rate under Luke Walton. So, yes, LeBron had them at a winning pace, but their margin of error, as soon as he gets hurt, it goes down. So now it's back on the coach and the rest of the team. So he gave him a chance.
Right.
I mean...
Okay. All right, let's take a break. Coming up, how much of Kevin Durant's legacy is on the line in the finals? We will talk about that next on First Things First.
Is Chris Broussard coming out?